say before we go forward, we first must look backwards.
Correct.
Here's what happened. I think this team actually, whilst this current Penrith side's putting up an almighty challenge, it may be gone past them. But this team at the time was the best team ever in the NRL Grand Final era, in my opinion. Take it away, Melbourne Storm 2017.
And Chambers gets a ball away to Addo-Carr. Addo-Carr is over halfway. Away goes the Fox. Addo-Carr runs 75 to score.
Okay, there you go. And look, they're a good team. And you'll never forget, I had to race from Channel 9 studios before the game, did my piece, and then raced out to meet the family out at the game. And I only missed about 5 minutes of the game. Do you know why? Remember that Sean Fensom injury?
Oh, yes, that's right.
At the start of the game.
Yeah, correct.
How sad was that for a player who's what a great player he was. So willing was Sean Fensom. Anyway, let's get into this match. There's one out for the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, who's out?
This is the difference in how important this game is. There's one out for the Cowboys. Thomas McKaylee. Here's your outs for the Melbourne Storm. Eli Katoa, Harry Grant, Jack Howarth, Jerome Hughes, Nelson Asofa Solomona, Sean Bloor, Tui Kamakamitha, and Will Warbrick. As far as the ins are concerned, look, no, Tepai Morrell comes back in for a chance. And this is the thing. These guys, remember this game last year? They took on the Broncos. And this is the game where, I thought he'd be in the team. Silverlongo went berserk.
Yep.
Put himself on the map. So he's on the wing. Ryan Pappenhausen is playing. Cameron Munster is playing.
We thought he might.
Yeah.
We thought he might need the run.
Christian Welsh is playing. Tyron Wishart's a hooker. Alec McDonald, he'll be in that 17 grand final if they are to get there. But they're the major ones, Brian. How do you see this one?
Oh, look, I think the Cowboys will win, but we know with the Storm side, we just know that they'll aim up. Grant Anderson at 7. Didn't know Ando was a 7.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that it will be a victory to the Cowboys, but a hollow victory.
Hollow victory. Okay.
Very, very hollow.
It's not a bad pack, is it? Jordan McLean, Reece Robson, Jason Taumalola, Hylam Lukey, Jeremiah Knight, Ruben Cotter. That's a good pack.
Put it this way, it won't be a flogging.
No, I don't think so.
I really don't.
I don't think so.
Speaking of floggings, though, let's have a look at the Bulldogs and Seagulls, Friday, 6 p.m. But before we go forward, we've got to go back. Who remembers this? When the great Jimmy Dimmick just went berserk.
And out for Ryan. There's a problem for Hopewade. There's a problem for Manly. Ryan has pulled down, not held. Up, still going. And 2 metres from the line. Lamb is there. He scoops the ball away. Dimmick, then for Silver. Silver away. And a long ball from Pay. And 27 is Hughes. And he goes over. Scores for Canterbury.
What a great call. And hello to you, Glennie Hughes, listening to the program. Was that 1995 or 2024? Can we just replay the very start of that call from Rabs?
Yeah.
And out for Ryan. There's a problem for Hopewade. There's a problem.
Oh,
there is.
Embargo.
There is a problem. There's a problem for Richo too, I reckon, coming up. Okay, let's go to the Bulldogs. No Stevie Crichton. He's gone with a suspension. So our man, Jacob Kiraz, he goes into the centres and Skelton comes onto the wing. The Salmon is back. So the Salmon has gone from downstream, made his way all the way upstream. Kurt, man, that's a big out for him. That's a big out.
Yeah.
Face full of Jamin.
Not Rabs. Gus tweeted, I think he's out for the bet. Can you just get that out, please?
Booger?
Yeah, no, that's
Left.
other side.
Heavy.
Yeah, other side. I'll let it go for a couple of games.
Dangle.
But this is on YouTube, Brian. So
That's
we
fine.
need to clear that up.
Boogers?
I think Kurt Mann might be gone for the year.
Yeah, broken collarbone. See you later.
Yeah.
Or clavicle, is that?
Hopefully that's gone for the year.
Is that gone?
4 to 6.
Anyway, let's get to the Seagulls. Tommy Talau, he's back from that pec injury. So Kohler back to the bench. Pretty strong bench. O'Shea Ole on the bench. Bitcoin, Bullymore, and the Lodge. There's no one at the inn. He makes his first appearance since round 11. Because Corey Waddell, he's serving 2 match for taking Thingo's head off. Who did he take? Whose head off?
Corey Waddell
He flew
got...
in.
Alamalo?
No, it was a young fullback, Heath Mason, wasn't it?
Mason.
Oh, got him a beauty. Got him a beauty. So this is the... I think
Dog 6 in a row after this one?
I think so. They've just got the hot hand. Tommy Turbo's worried about giving 750 a K away. Just give it away. Why doesn't he just donate it then? That's even a bigger story.
Yeah, I felt for Jason Saab the other day. Like, it just nothing was sticking. And then after the game, Channel 9 interviewed Yeah, you've got it, Brian.
What are you doing?
Stop
Have I got
digging.
it?
Yeah, you've got it.
Well, you don't know. You got to tell me. This is
I'm honest.
0457 736 736.
Told you
If
on
your
air.
mate's got a booger,
They would have
do you
seen the
tell
same
them?
thing, but I've told you.
I didn't look. Too close.
We've been on air for 50
I've
minutes.
only just noticed it.
Oh, we've been in.
You haven't
Dom,
been
why
this
didn't you
close
tell
to
me?
There was an airplane.
Keep
in the
going,
hangar.
Dom, and you know where this is going. We're double dating.
HR.
We're going to double date at the next Spinster ball. Not Sphincter.
I had something sage to tell you, Brian, but I've lost it now.
Sorry.
So let's move on to the Panthers and the Rabbitohs, Brooks.
All right, Friday night, Bluebet Stadium. You were asking me a question before, Fletch.
Yeah.
The Rabbitohs cannot
Get the wooden
come
spoon?
last
No.
because they're 4 points clear of Para and Tigers. They've got
Got
to
you.
play each other.
Ah, of course.
One of them won't catch them.
Checkmate.
No. I was
Bang.
just wondering.
That's all right. There's probably a few people that were asking that question. Panthers, Sunir Taruva and centre Paul Alamotti are the new faces in the back line. But before I go through to the forward pack, there's a few memories from yesteryear.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one's not too long ago. Grand final, Suncorp Stadium. This is what happened.
Too long to go, and I'd certainly want to be kicking it through the corners. Oh!
There's an intercept for Crichton. Crichton, he's away. Is he away with the premiership? Stephen Crichton scores. A try now in 3 finals.
What about Rabs?
Gun.
What an ornament to the game.
Isn't it funny how you just get so used to him and the quality of his call,
Yeah.
and then he's not here with us anymore. Well, he's here with us.
As a caller.
Sorry. As a caller.
No, that's right.
As a caller. And then when you go back in time, like, no disrespect to the current crop,
Yeah.
but
E.G.
he's 4 lengths in front.
That is true, right? But I've got great respect for the current crop.
Yeah,
because-
I do, but he's hands
because-
and heels
Yeah,
now.
I know, but he was also hands and heels of himself 30 years beforehand.
Yeah.
So the age thing,
Yeah.
it does play a part. Like
That was what year was that? 2020.
That's 2021. I was going to say, is that Rabs' last ever try call in an NRL game?
yes,
That's the last ever try.
that's
he's
his
called.
last ever
Yeah.
Well,
grand
it's only
final,
3 years
yes.
ago. He's flying there.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that Rabs of 2021,
Yes.
right? How good that was.
Oh, you mean
He would,
compared to?
he would school Rabs of 25
Got you.
years before.
So yeah,
Do you agree with
I'm
that?
being a bit harsh on the current.
I
crop.
think you're a bit bogley on the current crop.
Sorry.
Because they too, I'm not saying they're going to get the Rabs level, but they too in 25 years, for those who push on, will be far better than their current model. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They got a little bit to get to Warren Boland though. The current model.
Yeah. I get that.
I love all that sort of gear.
Okay.
Oh,
before we-
sorry.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, you go.
Before we move on, so that year, don't forget this. So that was the first Panthers premiership of the trio they have. They win that one. They beat the Parramatta Eels, and then they beat last year. They beat who did we beat last year? Oh, Broncos.
Broncos
Won the
last
great
year.
grand final.
Sorry.
But in the lead up, you recall they played each other late in the season, or maybe it was a semi, where Cleary was critical of Bennett for his consultation with referees over what he perceived as illegal blocking tactics. Now, anyway, this is what Ivan said. The NRL has got to make a decision about whether they're going to allow coaches to deliberately manipulate referee and try and influence them. This is what Ivan said. And then Wayne Bennett, gloves are off. He had this to say.
We know what the rules are. They interpret the rules. Well, if they've got a different slant onto us, I've got to know that. I've got to talk to them about that. But I left it there. I didn't tell you people. I wasn't the one that started it. Well, Ivan did, because he came out.
But then why did it leak? You know,
Well, he worked for them. He worked for the referees before he went back into coaching. I've got to assume he's got some mates there still.
That's about as much as he hears.
Exactly. Yeah. He was angry.
Assuming.
C was angry that day.
It was, my friend. It was
Like an
my
old
friend.
man.
What was the old man analogy?
He was sending soup back
something. Yeah, sending
to
soup back.
Adeli. So we went through the backs. Taruva, Paul Alamotti, new faces in the back line. So Dane Laurie and Casey McLean go back to NRL. New South Wales Cup, sorry. Hooker. Mitch Kenny's return from suspension means Luke Somerton goes to the reserves. Rabbitohs, the Bunnies have named Cam Murray pending his visit to the judiciary tonight. He's seeking a downgrade. Cody Walker returns from the concussion protocol at halfback. Saliva Havili has been added to the bench. And Shaq Mitchell won't play any more part in 2024. He's sidelined by a calf injury.
Okay. Interesting they've dropped young McLean. Very, very interesting. I thought he did have a little bit of issues defensively, as most young players do.
You know what? I was speaking to somebody out there. They said, Alamotti's back soon. And I thought, that's interesting. Will he get his spot back? So I just think it's less about McLean.
Yeah.
I just think they've got a big rap on Alamotti.
Were you surprised to see he was second this year in the Telstra tracker? So 36 or nearly 37 kilometres an hour, just a pinch behind Saab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there a minimum meterage in that, or is it just at some stage during
speed? He was in front of the Hammer.
Wow.
And the Hammer was flying that day.
Yep.
Can I ask you this,
Paul
Brian?
Alamotti.
Is there, if Taruva's not the one, is there a chance you could see Alamotti with McLean on the wing? He just looks. He looks a young Crichton, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think wings might be his spot.
Yeah. Wheels.
I just don't know whether the Dane Laurie experiment. I really like him as a fullback.
Yep.
Just don't know whether the winger is his spot. But
time will tell.
Time will tell, and Ivan knows much more than us.
Now, Rabbi, I hope you're paying attention because off the back fence, here he comes. Parramatta take on the Dragons, 3 p.m, Combank Stadium. The man in Emerald says what?
Just one change for the Eels. The Italian stallion, Luca Moretti, he returns on the bench in place of Jake Tungo. For the Dragons, just one change. Shane Flanagan puts Raymond Taylor-Mariner. He joins the bench in place of Lycan King Tugia. But of course, in a huge game for the Dragons, St. George will be hoping to part the red V with Moses Suley named on the extended bench.
He's back.
Looking for a return since round 23.
He's back.
Okay, folks. So just to look ahead, the Tourist is going to close things in round 26 with the final game of the round. Roosters take on the Raiders. So we look forward to what he comes up with, Rabbi, there. Over to me. Dolphins take on the Broncos. This Queensland East Queensland derby through specs on here. Can't read that, Brian.
Did you say yibbity-yibbita?
I said yibbity-yibbita. 5:30 on Saturday. 5:30 on Saturday. That's an unusual time slot for this pair. And let's have a look. Has Kevy Presco on a couple of comeback? Payne Haas can't be too far away. But in team news, let's start with the Broncos. Star prop Payne Haas is listed among the reserves as he looks to return from a Liz Frank injury suffered in round 22 against the Titans with Kobe Hetherington sideline. Ben Takura has been added to the bench as well for his first NRL game since round 5. He's been 18-man twice in recent weeks. For the Dolphins, 5'8" Sean O'Sullivan, prop Mark Nichols joined the starting side. Cody Nikorima, Jesse Bromwich, both out after suffering head knocks against the Storm. Mason Teague, Kurt Donahue are the new faces on the bench. Tavita Pangai Jr., who missed last week. And Jeremy Marshall-King are listed among the reserves. As they look to return from injury. Huge.
Must play.
I think that inclusion of Jeremy Marshall-King, which allows the Plathmeister to go back into his favoured position of lock forward, that's going to get him over the line.
They can win that game.
That's why I think they're going to sneak into the 8.
Those 22s will be playing.
Of course they will.
Must play. Like, this is do or die.
Yeah.
You've got to play them, don't you? That's the position they're both in. You can't be resting now.
Okay.
If you're named, you've got to play.
Can I tell you, if Payne Haas is 50%, and this is what I said, Tony Ray at London Broncos did this one day with us with Jimmy Dimmick. Jimmy Dimmick was completely busted. We didn't know this. But he said to him privately, Jimmy, I know you're busted, but you have such an aura and presence around this team. Just them seeing you kitted up in the sheds will make them believe.
Did Jimmy play at all?
Oh, look, if he played bugger all. But we saw him in the sheds. Yeah, and he was pretending to be strapped and that while we're warming up. And we come into the sheds and he's leading the way and he's talking this and boys can't wait to come on the field, and we see him in the sheds. So we are pumped, ready to go, right? I'd do that for the sake of an extra player. And you may need Payne Haas, right? If you need to break glass, or Haas, that is. Right?
Break Haas.
But don't you think that you get a lot out of that, just him being in the sheds?
I don't think you can carry a player, not these days.
I know. But even the Dolphins, they go, Payne Haas is in the team.
Well, like Moser? Okay, let's say Moser or Haas in this circumstance. Who are you going with?
He's on one. If he's on one leg,
but you got to win the game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And Jensen's been really good.
If you can get away without using him, don't use him.
Meet Corey Jensen.
Yeah.
You put him as 18.
If he's 75, I'm playing him. 50, I can't.
Just get him in a jersey. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think, listener? Okay, that's how that shapes up. Big game. Sharkies take on the Warriors. And Shark Park's the game. Sean Johnson's final game, we think. Is he in the list, Brian?
Well, let's get to it. Let's go to the Sharks first. Nico Hines has been named in the squad.
22 as well.
Yeah,
What
he's
a
another
number.
22. Our man, Katoa, he's back from last week going out on his new boat out there on the where's it? Port Hacking?
Yep.
Port Hacking.
But Mortalo's still sidelined. Talakai is back from a calf injury, so he's going to be playing left centre because there's no
Yes.
right centre.
Ramian.
Right centre for Ramian, yeah, he's not there. Oh, finally, our man's back. Tuapiki. He's the new fullback. Chance Nickel Clockstad is going to the centres.
Wow.
Because Roger had the concussion protocols. Leah Tower comes in at centre with Pompey. He's gone for the season. And Tommy Ale has been added to the bench.
Isn't that a statement for next year? You know how all the chat around, are you going to keep Chance there? Yes, we're keeping Chance there. Yes, we're keeping Chance at fullback. And just like that, Tane Tuapiki is at fullback. That's the front runner for next year, isn't it?
I think so. He hasn't missed every time he's been promoted. He's aimed up.
Yep.
He's got a bit of the Kinney in him.
Yep.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
So Sean Johnson is at 7. So we thought he might have been the farewell last week, but he's going around again.
Just reading this team lineup, and you mentioned, where'd you say Nico was 22? I don't think there's a place for him as number 14 because you've got Talakai there who could ordinarily, everyone being fit, could be the number 14. But in this scenario, if Talakai is starting, you've got Atkinson and Trindle in the halves, I can very much see player number 14 being Nico Hines, don't you think?
He's been going. Who do you drop?
I think Nico just comes on at 14.
Yeah, I know, but who you going to? I think they might drop Tommy Hazelton.
Well, Dan Atkinson's quite. Well, actually, you know what you could do? You could actually roll Talakai into the back row, Dan Atkinson to centres, and everyone wins. You know,
The Sharks are probably the most versatile 13.
Yeah.
With McInnes, Brayley, Talakai, Atkinson.
Yeah.
You're covering a lot of positions there with those 4.
100%. Rightio, you done that, Brooks? Fletch?
Yeah, I'm done.
Take us to McDonald Jones Stadium, Brooksy. It's the Knights and the Titans, where we think the Knights have got a pulse.
Sneaky good game, this one, gents. Bradman Best returns from a hamstring injury he suffered against the Bronx in round 20. Bradman's back. Dylan Lucas shifts to the back row to replace Pierce Paul. Did you see that laceration by chance?
Yuck.
I'm still trying to delete it from my memory. Brodie Jones moves from the bench to the starting side to replace Tyson Frizzell, who's in concussion protocols, and Thomas Cant can join the bench this week. Titans just the one change with Phil Summy coming into the centres in place of AJ Brimson, who we spoke about earlier in the show. He's out for the rest of the season with groin surgery heading his way. And Tanner Boyd is again listed as 18th man. Boys, Carter Gordon, would you give him a game?
Yeah.
If you're out? No.
Throw him in. Why? You're a rugby hater. Throw him in.
You reckon?
Okay, Aaron Clark's moving on next year.
I'll tell you what, there's a big one.
Even 18th man.
We've got to move along, boys. Sorry, Brooks. You got all that covered?
Yeah, it's covered.
And my peripheral's been working great. Clowns to the left of me, Joker to the right. And I've been watching you, but I could just feel rehearsals happening on the right-hand side.
Oh, no. So
with the rabbi.
Are we
Come on, tourist.
Are we kiboshing?
Kibosh?
What?
No,
Are you
come on,
done?
tourist. No. Let's go.
Better be
Roosters
good.
and the Raiders.
Roosters and Raiders. Raiders for same 17 as last week to upset the Panthers for Ricky Stewart. For the Roosters, Connor Watson and the Cheese, they are back. No Joseph Suaalii, no JWH. They're both out. Michael Jennings, he comes into centres. Spencer Lenu, he starts the game at prop with Nafahu White added to the bench. And Robbo will be looking to take a walk on the wild side and hoping for some good vibrations. And step by step, this Roosters team are saying, I'll be loving you. As Mark Nwanga Nitawasi is on the extended bench.
Very good.
Number
Mate,
22.
Rabbi, I hope you appreciate that because he did all that, but he had to then nail the name.
Yeah.
There
Mark
was a-
Nwanga Nitawasi.
Yes.
Nitawase.
Yeah. Rabbi.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Those highlights.
I thought they were Beach Boys songs.
Yeah.
I was like, what is Monkey
Yeah, I
Break?
think Step by Step, that was his brother.
He was.
That was Donny.
Well, you know, Wahlbergs.
We've got to get to a break.
Raiders?
I thought he was great under
Raiders,
pressure.
same 17.
Some eat it, some get eaten by it. The tourist was hungry. For Aussies living life on the go, Signet phone accessories go the distance, keeping you connected and protected. In saying that, I need to get my cord for my Signet. It's the Run Home with Joel and Fletch.